is Lady Hazelthorn, and before I begin this story, I want you to understand something important. Life does not always create heroes and villains, sometimes it creates wanderers and survivors. One loses herself in chaos, the other learns to grow through pain. This is the story of two such women, two lives intertwined, two destinies shaped by entirely different storms. One of them is me, a woman who learned to build strength out of her broken pieces, and the other is a girl named Bobby, a whirlwind of emotions, a fire without direction, a soul constantly running from itself. I met Bobby in school. Even as children, she was nothing like the rest of us. She walked with a strange confidence. A spark, or perhaps an explosion, hidden behind her eyes. She did not want to be understood. She wanted to be free, not the peaceful kind of freedom, but the kind that feels like flying straight into a storm, hands open, no fear, no limits. As the years passed, I watched her burn through life as if she had only one mission: to escape anything that tried to hold her still. But every escape comes with a cost. Every storm, sooner or later, leaves debris behind. This is the journey of a girl who couldn't stop running, and a woman who had to learn why some souls never find a home. Welcome to the world of Bobby and Lady Hazelthorn. From the very beginning, Bobby was different. She wasn't mischievous, she was uncontrollable. While most children followed rules, she questioned every single one. Why? Why not? Who says I can't? These were her daily expressions. Her mother often said she was born ready to fight the whole world. But the truth was deeper. Bobby wasn't fighting the world, she was fighting the cages she imagined around herself. Books couldn't hold her attention. Classrooms suffocated her, routine irritated her. She wasn't meant for silence, she was meant for noise, movement, risk. I was always the opposite: calm, observant, careful, yet somehow, we became friends. Maybe because I found her fascinating, like a wild flame that you know will burn, yet you cannot look away. Even as children, I could sense she was running from responsibility, from control, from judgment. She didn't fear punishment. She feared stillness. Stillness meant facing herself, and Bobby never wanted that. Teenage years changed everyone, but they transformed Bobby into a force no one could manage. Her emotions sharpened, her impulsiveness grew, and her need to feel alive became an obsession. She began chasing thrills, new friendships, new attention, new excitement. But behind every laugh, behind every daring decision, there was a hidden emptiness. She wasn't searching for people, she was searching for distraction, a way to silence the noise inside her, a way to avoid the loneliness that crept into her heart. Every night when the world went quiet, I remember asking her once, "Why do you always run into things without thinking?" She laughed, a laughter with no joy, and said, "Because if I stop, I'll fall apart." And I realized then, Bobby wasn't wild because she enjoyed it, she was wild because she was afraid. Bobby's home wasn't broken, but it wasn't peaceful either. Her parents loved her, but they didn't understand her. Her father believed strictness would fix her. Her mother believed patience would heal her. Neither worked. Arguments became common, doors slammed, voices rose, tears fell. Bobby resisted every attempt to control her. She wasn't rebelling against her parents, she was rebelling against the idea that anyone had the right to guide her life. She saw guidance as chains, advice as interference, and one day, after a particularly painful argument, she disappeared, just vanished. For one whole year, no one knew where she went, who she was with, or how she was living. All we knew was that the Bobby who returned was not the Bobby who left. When Bobby finally came home, she walked like a person who had survived storms she would never speak of. Her eyes had lost their childish sparkle, her smile looked practiced. Her voice carried silence inside it. She laughed loudly, to hide the emptiness within. She spoke boldly, to cover the fragility she felt. No one asked what happened during that year. Perhaps no one wanted to know. Her family, exhausted and afraid, believed that marriage might bring stability. But stability is a concept Bobby never understood. In the beginning, marriage seemed like a solution. She tried, she truly tried. She acted responsible, she tried to manage a home, she tried to live normally. But Bobby wasn't made for ordinary life. She wasn't made for routine, or rules, or commitments. Her husband was a patient man, too patient, perhaps. He wanted to help her, but he didn't know how, and slowly, Bobby's old restlessness returned. Her need for thrill, her desire for chaos, her obsession with movement, it all came back stronger than before. Her husband began to notice the distance, the mood swings, the signs of a woman who did not want to stay still. Instead of confronting her, he chose silence. Sometimes silence is acceptance, sometimes silence is defeat, and sometimes silence is simply a person giving up. While Bobby's life spun out of control, mine was falling apart quietly. My marriage was a slow-burning tragedy, a partner who didn't care, who didn't support, who didn't even see me. I felt invisible, I felt forgotten, I felt trapped in a life that was slowly killing me. I didn't scream, I didn't run. I simply endured. Because that's what women are taught to do, endure. Bobby, despite her chaos, saw my suffering, and then she made a decision that changed my life forever. She introduced me to someone who would become the turning point in my story. He was calm where I was wounded, gentle where I was fragile, understanding where I was breaking. He didn't try to fix me, he didn't try to control me, he simply listened, and being heard, after years of silence, felt like breathing again. Slowly, carefully, I allowed myself to feel something I thought I had lost forever, the possibility of being loved. This man didn't save me, I saved myself, but he gave me the courage to try. Our connection deepened, it grew into something real, something powerful, something that felt right when everything else felt wrong, and eventually, he became mine. With him, I found stability, I found comfort. I found myself. I didn't feel trapped anymore, I felt supported, valued, cared for. My world began to make sense again. The chaos faded, the fear faded, the loneliness faded. I finally understood what calmness feels like. I had walked through fire, but I came out stronger, and yet, Bobby remained lost. Bobby never found that peace. She kept searching in new faces, new distractions, new escapes, but the truth was simple. She wasn't running from people, she was running from herself. Her patterns never changed, her choices never changed, her chaos never ended. She remained the same storm I had known since childhood, of wild, restless, untamed. I watched her from a distance, wanting to help, but knowing I couldn't. Some souls don't want saving, some souls don't know how to rest. Some souls confuse chaos with life. Bobby was one of them. Today, our paths still cross, we speak sometimes, we remember old days, we laugh at small things, but we live in different worlds now. I found direction, she found distraction. I found peace, she found movement. I learned to heal, she learned to run, and as I look at her today, I realize a truth that life has taught me. Not everyone wants to be saved, not everyone knows how to stop. Not everyone finds the quiet place they are searching for. Bobby is still running, and I have finally stopped. When I think of everything that has happened, all the paths that crossed, all the choices that carved their marks into our lives, I find myself standing at a place where silence finally speaks louder than chaos. This is Lady Hazelthorn, and this is my final reflection. Life has a strange way of showing us who we truly are, sometimes gently, sometimes violently, but always, always honestly. Bobby's story, my story, are intertwined journeys. They are not just tales of mistakes or survival, they are portraits of human nature, raw, unfiltered, and painfully real. I watched Bobby run through life like a wildfire, devouring everything in her path, never stopping long enough to understand what she was burning. She wasn't searching for love, she was escaping from the emptiness inside her, and emptiness is a dangerous companion. It whispers that nothing is enough, it pushes you to chase the next thrill, the next distraction, the next person, while leaving behind destruction that you don't even look back at. But her story is not about judgment, her story is a lesson, a reminder that when the soul is wounded, it will try to heal itself in the wrong ways, again and again, until someone stops and faces the truth. And then, there is me. I walked a different road, yet somehow, her choices shaped my journey too. I was a woman searching for stability, in a world that kept taking it away from me. My marriage was a heavy silence, a place where love did not live. I needed care, support, warmth, and I found it in someone who saw me when no one else did. Some may call it fate, some may call it coincidence, but I call it survival. And now, standing at the end of this story, I realize something powerful. We are not defined by where we come from, we are defined by the courage to choose where we go next. Bobby chose chaos, I chose peace. Two women, two souls, two destinies, shaped by the same world, but headed toward very different ends. Maybe she will change one day, maybe she won't. Some storms never quiet, and some hearts never learn how to rest, but I no longer carry the weight of her choices. I carry only my own. So as this narrative closes, I want to leave you with something deeper. A truth I learned the hardest way: people don't destroy your life, you destroy your life by letting the wrong people stay in it too long. Protect your peace, guard your heart, choose the ones who choose you back, walk away from anyone who confuses your kindness for weakness, and never, ever, let your loneliness convince you to settle for less than you deserve. Today, I stand stronger than ever, not because life was kind to me, but because I refused to let it break me. I found love that nurtures me, a man who values me, a life that honors me, and I choose it every single day. This is Lady Hazelthorn, closing this chapter with gratitude, wisdom, and a heart finally at peace. Thank you for listening. Thank you.